It's the second match of a doubleheader tonight here as the Frankfort Hot Dogs of the girls' Frankfort Hot Dogs get set to take on the Warriors of Danville in a Sagamore Conference showdown here on the Hot Dog Network and the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Frankfort Eagles 976. They are people helping people. By Day and Genda Funeral Home, proud supporters of high school athletics in Clinton and Carroll County. And by Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. And Fiberhawk, fast, affordable Fiberhawk. Welcome to the Day and Genda Funeral Home pregame show, putting family first alongside John Cupo. I'm Kurt Darling. John, again, we had a solid and dominating match by the boys here for the Frankfort Hot Dogs. Now the girls going to have their chance to try and do the same thing against a tough opponent here in Danville.
Well, you can definitely say, hey, let's look forward to next week because both of these teams drew a first-round bye in their sectional and are meeting in that second round of the sectional 25 playoffs next week. So let's see what you got. Let's feel each other out. Let's see what we can do, and we'll do it tonight, and then we'll roll it back next week.
It'll be certainly one to watch as well as we are underway here in this one. Our player to watch here today is 21 Vanessa Guardado, brought to you by Fiberhawk. Go further, faster, and go fiber, go Fiberhawk. Again, she is a typical goalkeeper here for the Hot Dogs this season, but she is getting the start tonight as a defender this evening, as Clarissa Castaneda, the goalkeeper who is a junior, will be getting the start tonight for the Hot Dogs in goal. Again, this is a Danville Warriors squad that is certainly on a roll this season. They are 9-4-1 under head coach Mia Wallace. Just keeping the success of this program for Danville going over the last 10 years. They have not had a losing season so far in the last 10 straight years, have the Warriors. Couple key players to look out for tonight as well for Danville. Again, you have a couple big strikers in Maya French, who is the captain senior for Danville, wearing number 2 tonight here for the Warriors.
One thing that Frankfort's going to have to do is utilize that right foot of Rachel Garcia, number 13, up front. She got a lot of speed. She can put the ball in the back of the net, but it's not going to be as easy as it was for the boys not too long ago.
We'll be certainly looking to see if Rachel Garcia can have an impact in this ball game tonight. Not getting the start tonight. She is starting tonight on the bench. She has 7 goals, leading the Hot Dogs this season off of 13 shots, 7 of which are on goal. So Danville getting kind of an opening attack going right there off of the foot of the aforementioned Maya French. And now the Hot Dogs trying to get themselves organized here in the midfield. Again, if you're just joining us here this evening, the boys soccer team here for Frankfort, a dominating 10-0 win in a shortened 60-minute match over North Montgomery to further their quest for a Sagamore Conference championship. Here's an attack by the Hot Dogs as Ava Michael gets things going on the near sideline, but nobody quite home on the cross into the penalty area, and Danville trying to meander their way out of traffic.
Kurt, you picked Vanessa Guardado as a player of the game, and you're right, she is a keeper, but 2 goals on the season, so she's able to come up from that defender position, come up, and she can be a threat on offense.
Certainly rare to see a multifaceted player such as Vanessa Guardado playing not only in the net but also everywhere else on the pitch that she can provide her services for this Hot Dog squad. Danville pushing the issue again, getting inside that time, but can't quite get things moving. Again, 2 40-minute halves being played in this one. No stoppage time.
Good luxury to have, though, for Coach Isaac Field to be able to bring your primary keeper out, let her be on the pitch, but also bring in Castaneda as the backup, who does a wonderful job for the Hot Dogs.
Pushing the issue now is Shelby Harvey. Again, a cross in here, a very precarious spot here. Loose goal, and it is in. Maya French taking advantage of the miscommunication there by the Hot Dogs. And Castaneda gives up an opening goal here in the 37th minute. to the Warriors.
And actually, Castaneda made the right play on there. She was able to deflect the ball in that initial pass in front of the box, but on a deflection, it came back to Maya French, and there was just nobody in goal for her to beat.
Give the assist as well to Shelby Harvey in on that. But another goal here for Maya French in the 37th minute already, and the Warriors lead 1-0.
And the problem on that deflection was Vanessa Shelley. She was behind French on that. She couldn't get in front of her, and French had an open net.
You mentioned Isaac Field earlier on here, John. He is in his 8th season as the head coach of the Hot Dogs, 46, 64, and 5 in that time span. The Hot Dogs coming into tonight's match 4-7-1. And unfortunately, they have racked up 4 straight losses coming into tonight's contest after getting 2 quick wins in Sagamore Conference play against Southmont and then on the road at North Montgomery.
But you have to look at this Hot Dogs team to say you do as the boys. You look down the roster there. There are seniors on this team, but it's a lot of youth, a lot of depth that has to grow into those positions. And these Hot Dog girls are the same as the boys, that there's a lot of talent out there. It's going to take them a few years to get all the way combining, form that chemistry as a team.
Lots of talent, including Emily Mora, as well as the aforementioned Garcia and Michelle Martinez, all of which have scored goals here so far this year. Again, dark clouds overhead right now. It's been raining off and on. And now here's a breakaway opportunity for the Warriors coming out of goal and navigating into the penalty area. And we're going to have a flag up, and it looks like that might result in a penalty kick here for Sylvie French, the sophomore.
So good play by Castaneda there, coming out, forcing, I believe that was Sylvie French out on the attack. Was able to go to her right. She got harassed by Castaneda, but then it was just that bump in the back, and that's going to set up a PK from 12.
So Sylvie French will be the one taking the penalty kick here, one-on-one with Clarissa Castaneda.
We talk about talent at the youth level. Sylvie French, only a sophomore. She's got one heck of a career lined up for her at Danville.
And now it looks like they're going to switch things out here, and they're going to have Jamie Heffley, the senior, going to take the PK. So the officials getting things set up here. Danville trying to go up 2-0. Heffley finds the top of the crossbar. A big break there for the Hot Dogs, and Danville cannot get the rebound as well. Still, the Warriors battling for possession at the top of the 18.
A lot of times on those PKs, it's not a great save that makes it. It's just a miss hit.
Here's Ane, shot on goal. A nice arc on that shot there from the sophomore striker, and it's handled by Castaneda.
Definitely, she hit it on target, but just kind of raised it a little bit and off the top crossbar.
So Danville already dominating with the shots on goal. Frankfort has yet to get anywhere close to the 18 of Danville here this evening. They've had just 1 or 2 attacks, but that's just been about it as we tick down through the 34th minute. Danville again pushing it upfield. Cross inside, trying to find the header up top, and Castaneda just able to bounce that into her own possession, and that was a header up top there by Melina Ane. Nice cross sent in there by Mika Baxter, the freshman forward, or rather the senior forward for Danville.
Good awareness there of Castaneda, though, to come out of her box and get that head ball, keep it from getting anywhere near inside the box where someone could do something with it.
Baylor Myers working with Ane as they get it back into the penalty area. Here's Dorsey. Dorsey feeds it over to French, who gets what amounts to almost another penalty kick, but with a defender in front of her, and it's sent out of play, and it'll be a throw in here for Danville.
So clearly they're just trying to go to French up front, more speed. She's good with the ball at her feet.
Loose ball, cross in again, touch up and over the back by Maya French. Tonight's match is brought to you by Frankfort Eagles 976, serving the community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, visit f.o.e.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. Frankfort now with a little bit of an opportunity, but just not enough speed as Hayden Heffley, the junior, able to track that down before the attackers of Frankfort able to get a foot on it.
Look at that little flick.
And now up again. Here comes Ane. Shot into the corner. 2-0 Warriors.
My goodness, that was just a great soccer play by an individual all the way down the left side of the pitch. Flicked it to herself, was able to get in head of the defender, and just sends a rocket off her left boot into the right side of the diving Castaneda. It's 2-0 now.
At least for the moment, the officials might be discussing this on whether or not Ane may have been offside.
Well, she couldn't have been because she flicked it to herself.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And, yeah, they'll award it to her. I'm not sure what they were conversing about there, but that was a clean play.
That was a very clean play indeed. And so that makes it a 2-0 ball game here for the Warriors. In the 32nd minute here for Melina Ane.
You see a lot of great individual plays in the world of soccer, and that was definitely one of them right there.
Sent in here by the Hot Dogs, trying to find Guardado, who has now moved up into the striker position. And now Danville trying to push the issue again, but nobody home that time.
And we kind of had to start talking about it a little bit earlier just for Frankfort on this side, but now for the girls is where's your offense going to come from? Who are you going to get it to? Who's going to do something with their feet? Break a defender, get something inside the box.
Again, right now the strikers for Frankfort are Vanessa Guardado as well as Ava Michael. Michael with 2 goals on the season, as does Guardado. Throw in here for Danville. Sent ahead. Ane going to track that down on the feed from Myers. Ane has French, and it's sent out of play by the back line. Natalie Cruz getting a foot on that one there for the Hot Dogs.
And Frankfort's just going to have to work extra hard because you can see that Danville is on the attack right now.
Danville playing some possession game here for a good chunk of this half, but that goes just over the head and out of the reach of Shelby Harvey. So we're through the first 10 minutes. And 2 goals allowed here by the Hot Dogs as the Warriors, again in pursuit of another Sagamore Conference championship. They have won 5 Sagamore titles in the last 10 seasons, have the Warriors. Myers working it with French. And it looks like Ane is onside. She has an opening, tries to find it, a good save, but on the rebound.
No good.
No good. It still doesn't go in. Good defensive support there by the back line of the Warriors, or rather the Hot Dogs, excuse me. And it goes out of play in a very, very heart-stopping moment right there for Clarissa Castaneda. She got that initial save, but on the rebound, John, that was some good support there on the back there from her back line.
Well, it was 2 players and a post that helped on that one because the first deflection came off that right post, and then it just hit 2 Frankfort players and able to drive that ball out. But hectic situation right there in front of the 6.
Natalie Cruz will send it back out here for a goal kick. And that's sent in the wrong direction there by the Hot Dogs. And possession back into the feet here of Myers.
Well, definite disadvantage right now, Kurt, for Frankfurt. They're just playing on their heels. Lots of momentum from the offense moving forward for Danville, and it's just that back line. It's got to be a bend, don't break mentality back there right now because the offense is so potent for Danville.
That's touched out. It'll be a hot dog throw-in. Into the 28th minute. Trying to chase it down here again. This is French. French with a shot from just beyond the 18. And a tough grab there by Castaneda.
You could see the closing speed of French right there. Just came from, he was about 20 yards away from that ball. But just on a full sprint, just sent it right into the hands of Castaneda.
Again, Danville with it. Sylvie French pushes it up now for Harvey. Harvey sends it in, and in the 6 right there is Castaneda once again. She is being forced all over the penalty area right now is Castaneda.
And Kurt, we talked a lot about it in the first game and even into this match right here, is that sometimes soccer's a funny game. Castaneda, she's not doing a bad job inside that 18. She's not doing a bad job at all, but sometimes the ball takes a tricky bounce, just gets away, and you can make a fantastic save like she did on that first goal. It's just where the rebound went was right to French for the easy goal.
Danville keeping the pressure up even off of that free kick. And Melina Ane, the sophomore, she has just been lights out here for the Warriors so far. Again, a goal in the 32nd minute, but she just keeps the pressure up on this front line of the Warriors. Cross. This is Harvey. Harvey has Dorsey. Dorsey may have a little bit of an opening. It closes up quickly, though. She sends it back out up top. That's Julia Simon working the midfield. Harvey gives herself some space, cross inside, and easily handled again by Castaneda.
And that is one thing that Coach Mia Wallace has done with her Danville Warriors, is that do not take your foot off the gas. Keep going, keep attacking. Try to keep that ball in the attacking third, and they're doing just that.
Again, we mentioned Danville is 5-1 in conference play this season, but they're second behind Tri-West in the Sagamore Conference standings. The Bruins undefeated against Sagamore opponents this year.
Tri-West hosting McCutcheon this evening.
Danville coming off of 2 straight losses. This is the third match of a 3-game road stand
1v1
for Danville. Here again, this time it is Simon. She gets in and finds the back corner. Julia Simon, the senior midfielder, makes it 3-0 here for the Warriors.
So just a tough play as it is in any situation like that, 1v1 striker against a keeper. Castaneda dove the right way, just shot was on target. Got past the diving left hand and in the back side of the net, 3-0.
So goals by Maya French, Melina Ane, and Julia Simon here for the Warriors have put the Hot Dogs in a big hole midway through this first half. While we have a moment, tonight's game is brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County. The coalition is committed to reducing the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging policy, system, and environmental changes. The vision of Healthy Communities is to make the healthy choice the easy choice. For more information, visit healthyclintoncounty.org. .25 minutes now remaining in this opening half. An Ane gets it through 3 defenders for the moment before it's cleared out of play, and a throw in here for the Warriors.
I'm already seeing some substitutions for each team.
Hayden Heffley will check out of the ball game for the moment, bringing in Sophia Wilson, the sophomore midfielder. She will take up the center back position here for the Warriors.
And right now, you don't want to look ahead too far into next week, but you're looking at your opponent in your first round of the playoffs, even though they both got the bye the draw, that they'll face each other in that second round. But you're looking at it right in front of your face, and it's got to be a great momentum shift for Danville at this point.
Knowing how you size up on your opponent going into when it really matters, and that is the postseason tournament coming up in just a week's time.
But that's the thing about the playoffs, where anything can happen. Anything can happen when it gets a crucial time.
Castaneda comes way out of the box.
That was a good play.
And attacking the attacker.
Clean. She has been busy.
And that was Julia Simon trying to get a second one. And she comes up a little gimpy right there as Castaneda made a play right at her feet to get the ball and avoid anything catastrophic.
And a clean play. Got to the ball before Simon did and was able to collect it, and Simon just took a dive.
So you mentioned the sectional. Again, these two teams, as you mentioned, facing each other coming up next week. But you have other teams such as Greencastle, Lafayette Central Catholic, North Montgomery, Tri-West, and Crawfordsville. Tri-West, the one to watch in that sectional. As we mentioned, they sit atop the Sagamore Conference standings. Seems to me that based on that alone, whoever comes out of that sectional has to go through the Bruins.
Well, Tri-West kind of got a good draw on that facing North Montgomery. North Montgomery kind of on same as par, have had a difficult season this year, just like the boys' side. And Tri-West, we know what they can do, so that might be an early exit for North Montgomery in that first round for Tri-West.
Castaneda coming way out as that rolls just into the penalty area where she can pick it up, negating the attack again.
But I like the matchup. I like Crawfordsville at Western Boone. Pretty similar teams here in the Sagamore, and they'll face off, so that'll be a close one.
Cross inside. Castaneda has to come out there, keeping it out of the reach of Ane.
She's all around the 18, isn't she? Number 4.
Yes, she is. Again, only a sophomore for Danville, so she'll be here for another 2 years for a Danville squad that, as I mentioned, has won 5 Sagamore championships in the last 10 seasons. And if they haven't won a Sagamore championship, they have been either second or third. So they have always been competing. Of course, they can only compete for just a little while longer when it comes to the Sagamore Conference, as the conference will likely break up by the time 2025 comes around, with Frankfort among the teams that will be making the exit from what is currently the Sagamore Conference. As you see, you'll probably likely see Danville, as well as Lebanon and Tri-West staying in what is the Sagamore Conference. They'll bring a couple other conferences in, but it was actually just announced this week that a new conference will be formed with the likes of Western Boone and Frankfort, among other teams from the Sagamore Conference, but they will be joining teams like North Putnam from the Western Indiana Conference, as well as Cascade out of the Indiana Crossroads Conference, to form a new conference here on the west side of Indianapolis.
My gosh, it's trickled down since college. Conference realignment.
Conference realignment, my friend, you said it. But, of course, talking with a couple other coaches this week, in fact, in particular, I talked with the coaches of North Montgomery as well as Southmont and a few others, as well as Danville head coach Jamie Comer for the football teams, respectively. And they talked about how, Danville, Lebanon, and Tri-West are simply growing exponentially quicker than other schools like Frankfort or Western Boone or any of the other smaller schools in the Sagamore Conference. And it's getting to the point where that disparity is getting just a little bit too wide. And so and one coach in particular, Destin Hannum from Southmont, said that it would be, quote, inevitable that this would be the case, that many of these schools would have to go their separate ways when it comes to a conference they play in the future.
Well, the landscape has just changed tremendously. I don't want to date myself, but when I was in high school, you lived where you played, or you played where you lived, and that was it. Now these players, they're in one city, they can go to another, and that's just where we're at this point in high school sports. And it can be frustrating because you do have powerhouses that have been sitting there forever and a day dominating, but then all of a sudden the change and shift is that this player wants to go here, this player is just right on the border so they can go here. So it is a change, and that's why we're seeing these new conferences.
Long free kick taken that time by Vanessa Guardado, and it's just a little bit off target as she was going right for the net. Giving us our first look at the starting goalkeeper tonight for the Warriors, who is Ava Walls, the sophomore.
Kind of impressive. You look at where this Warriors team is, and you're going to lose two captains in Maya French and Julia Simon, but you look at all the 10s and the 11s and the 9s on this roster, and Mia Wallace has got to be pleased with what she has coming up for her.
It is a young and talented roster that she has at her disposal, as well as plenty of other talent on the junior varsity roster as well.
But, Kurt, I look at this overall landscape of mainly when you look at girls and women's soccer overall, just the state of Indiana, but also really where we're at. I know we're north of Indianapolis, but when you look at the city, look at the opportunities throughout the Indy 11. You look at all these different recruiting classes now that you have, and just the opportunities for these young ladies not to stop at the high school level, that there's just so much growth with the USL2. And
turning inside, shot saved by Castaneda.
Great save.
What a grab there by Castaneda, as that was Sylvie French coming in hot and heavy. And Castaneda able to get a paw on that one and avoid a fourth goal.
That was great anticipation by the young keeper. Wow.
And so this will be a corner kick here for the Warriors. So taking it now will be Shelby Harvey, the midfielder, a junior here for the Warriors. Sent up here by Harvey. Long ball headed up and out of play. A goal kick here for Frankfort. But you mentioned all those opportunities here, John. You know, you talk about the Indy 11, but also, you know, club soccer as well up on the north side of Indianapolis, the Indiana Fire, one of those in particular. But, you know, it just having been involved in calling soccer throughout the state here for the last few seasons, just getting to know a lot of the players. And, you know, there are a lot of opportunities for these players, both boys and girls, men and women, to play not only high school soccer but also club soccer year-round. The club scene is very big here in the state.
It is, and what that does is it whets the chops of the college coaches. You know, Terry St. John, how excited she is for the talent that she can get in-house over at Butler. You have Josh Reif at Ball State, who's super excited about the talent pool here in the state alone. So you're seeing it grow just past the boys' game. We know the talent that's here in Indiana on the boys' side, but there's so much talent on the girls' side, and it's great to see, and these coaches love it.
That also put on display with the fact that the Indy 11 fielding a W League squad for the last couple of seasons that will eventually likely get promotion to the brand new USL Super League. That will involve the Indy 11 as a brand new top-tier soccer division in professional soccer in the U.S., as there's another big grab there by Clarissa Castaneda.
Boy, she's working hard in that cage tonight. But doing a fantastic job. The 3-0 score is really not indicative of how she's played so far. She's just been very busy.
So in spite of the fact that she's given up those 3 goals, she has kept the ball in front of her at all times ever since giving up that third one to Julia Simon. Cross inside up top. Top of the key. And nothing quite working there, as that was Maya French who couldn't find an opening.
Kurt, I'm a little disappointed in how you addressed our Indy 11. That's your national champion, Indy 11,
and it
from
is
the
correct.
women's side.
Excuse me, I forgot. Yes, that is correct. Winning the W League championship, the Indy 11 women did just this past summer.
Right here at home.
And that was against a very tough NC Courage U20 team.
And they play at a fabulous facility, Micah Carroll Stadium over at IUPUI. But, you know, we talk about the growth of soccer and the fact that the 11 are getting a dedicated $1 billion place home to play soccer, solely dedicated for soccer, is absolutely unbelievable for the city of Indianapolis.
Most of which is being paid for by the club itself, which is also really, really cool to see how the investment has grown in pro soccer here in the state. Here's a arcing shot just a little bit wide of the net right there by Baylor Myers from the top of the 18.
And smart play by Castaneda, too. You know, it's the little things like that. She was ready to grab the ball, but now just a free kick. Let it go out of bounds, no harm done. Didn't know if it could bounce off of her or whatnot, but that's a smart play. I like watching her.
So working in the final 14th minute or so, this is the longest stretch that we have gone without a goal here in this contest. Baylor Myers with it again. She sends it up, and Castaneda, she is not afraid to come out and challenge for that ball whenever it is a 50-50 case like that right there. Tonight's game is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, where they believe in putting family first. As active members of the community, they know that when dealing with a loss, seeing a familiar face and being treated like family is important. Day and Genda Funeral Home will serve your family in a unique and loving way. For more information, visit Day and Genda Funeral Home Services at dayandgenda.com. Again, Frankfort still trying to get possession here to try and get some sort of attack that they can get. But right now it has been all Danville as Julia Simon chips it out and just missing wide. What a miss right there, and an opportunity for Danville to go up 4-0. Shelby Harvey just a little bit off target.
Yeah, just had to squeak it by Castaneda, but able to get in front of it just enough to have that shot go wide left.
Certainly good presence there by Castaneda to at least force the shot to go wide if she couldn't get a hand on it.
Yeah, didn't give her an open net, and that's all you can do in that situation.
Again, Clarissa Castaneda is not the regular starter in goal for this squad. It is Vanessa Guardado who has been playing the striker position tonight. So Castaneda coming in relief here for Guardado, who is going to be better at the striker spot tonight. And Castaneda is certainly answering the challenge in spite of the fact she's given up 3 goals, as you get another shot on goal, and Castaneda gets her hands on that one.
Well, she's making her case to get a few more minutes, I can tell you that, even though it is 3-0.
Again, she is a junior. Guardado's a senior, so she will be graduating, which means Castaneda, that's her spot really to have next year that she can certainly build on with this type of performance.
Coach Field, even though down 3-0, I know he's happy with his keeper right now.
And that one goes out of play. And we kind of discussed this a little bit in reference to the previous match that we called here this evening. The fact that even though you're down with a deficit like this, the fact that Castaneda still has a pep in her step and trying to keep the ball out of the net is certainly encouraging.
Well, you always try to find some sort of positive. During the first broadcast, it was hard to find it for North Montgomery. Unfortunately, just Frankfort came out guns a-blazes in that one. 10-0, that's a tough defeat no matter how you look at it. But when you're looking at Frankfort now down 3-0, and you can see that Danville's just been on the attack the entire match, just from the opening whistle. They've been in their attacking third. They have a lot of shots on goal. But Castaneda, she has saved a lot of multiple shots, and it had disturbed some of the shots from Danville as well. So she's playing very, very well. Just would like to see more on the attacking side from the Hot Dogs, who we've barely seen it in this first half.
Lots of second and third chances that the Warriors have had so far this evening, and Castaneda has answered the call for the majority of them. Working the midfield here now are the Warriors. And again, Castaneda grabs the long ball. Ava Watson into the ball game here for the Warriors. She wears number 14, plays mostly at junior varsity minutes, but getting some varsity action here tonight.
And one thing, we saw this in game one. was the hungriness of Frankfort, which was great. They had an offensive mindset and were attacking, but what did we see a lot of? We saw a lot of offside calls. A lot of difference between Danville. Danville's not crossing that line. They've been coached to wait for that ball to get where it needs to be in order to move forward. So you can see the different types of coaching that you can do in order to eliminate that offside call.
We're in the final 10 minutes here of this opening half.
And Mother Nature decided to show up. You can see it on your screen there.
Rain has returned.
That's going to make this ball very slick, going to make it slip on the grass, skip forward, which right now is going to favor Danville. But you could get a lucky break for Frankfort.
Track meet there between, looked like Sarah Oliver, the defender for Danville, as well as Guardado. But instead it was Ava Walls who came away with it. Goes a little bit too long. In fact, I think that's only the second time that Walls has touched the ball this evening. And you certainly see it on your screen now. A lot more rain starting to fall here on the pitch at Frankfort.
Well, as broadcasters, Kurt, I can tell you is that these young ladies are much more content with seeing rain than the heat that we had to deal with in the first couple weeks of the season.
Definitely. Here's an opportunity on the missed possession there by Frankfort. Harvey just sends that one wide again. But as you mentioned, the one you are referring to is the boys' match we had to call against McCutcheon, where they actually had to push the start time of the match back because it was temperatures pushing the upper 90s that day with high humidity. But they were able to get that match in, but it was still not much cooler by the time it was a 7:30 kickoff after a proposed 5:30 kickoff.
And that wasn't just us. I mean, that was all across the landscape of high school soccer here in Indiana. It's just been brutally hot, unseasonably warm weather this summer for these young athletes. But they're resilient, and they got through it, and now we're playing in much more comfortable temperatures, and rain's not going to hurt them at all.
Here's Guardado, a little bit of an opportunity for the Hot Dogs, but quick out of the box that time was Ava Walls. So the Hot Dogs finally with something that looked a little organized there of an attack as Guardado just kind of waited for things to develop, but just things a little bit out of the reach from the rest of her attackers.
And that's what you want to see. You're not going to see a lot of it, but when you're there, try to capitalize on it. Just it didn't work out for the Hot Dogs in that particular possession.
Working the back line there is Yaneli Nieves, the junior defender. Simon pushing it in, cleared back out. Into the feet of Harvey. Myers will just send that one long and out of play. And another goal kick for the Hot Dogs. Six minutes left to go here in the first half. Tonight's game is brought to you by Aaron's Flooring, offering luxury vinyl plank, carpet installation, and more. Visit aaronsflooringllc.com for more information or call 765-601-4145 for a free quote. Up again this time is Harvey. She's double-teamed. She sends it back into the middle for Simon. French is onside. Coming up and getting it is Castaneda.
Once again, smart heads-up play.
Again, she is not afraid to come out and challenge the attackers, especially when it's basically one-on-one right there like it was with French.
Well, one thing that has slowed down for the Warriors has been their attack. A lot of through balls, a lot of offense happening inside the 18 in those early minutes, but haven't been as potent since.
Here comes another Warriors attack with Harvey. Harvey sends that one in. That goes down as a shot on goal and another save for Castaneda. And so it's kind of gone here, John, for Danville. being very organized on that attack to kind of just sending stuff in and hoping something sticks.
Yeah, there hasn't been really any set plays or anything where they can go 2v1 or just back and forth one-on-one soccer. As you mentioned, Kurt, it's just really send it into the box, see if someone can do something with it, and that's where we're at right now. That's why it's been stuck at 3-0 for quite some time after a quick 3 goals early.
Of course, this can also be an example of how important it is to, in some cases, get as big of a cushion as you can, because if you do end up cooling off, things could be much more precarious if that deficit was that much closer.
And what just happened right there, I know there wasn't much going on. It's going to be a white throw. However, that's going to be really the key in the second half. Now that the rain has fallen, that field is a little bit more slicker. That's where you're going to have your opportunity for Frankfort. Maybe you can squeak something by Ava Walls if you get that ball to take a funny hop off that slick grass.
Coming up again here is Danville. That's French sending it in, trying to find Simon. It eventually does. But just a mistimed push of the ball that time in for Danville. And that was Dominique Hernandez who sent that one in, and it'll be Castaneda to throw it back in. 3 minutes to go here in the opening half.
The pace of this game just slowed tremendously. What came out as an offensive onslaught from the Warriors, everything has really settled down. But here's an opportunity here.
Coming up again, one-on-one with a little bit of help from the defender, but not enough. And Danville finally gets another goal after going a long time without one. And once again, it is Melina Ane.
She's kind of been in the heart of all these goals. She has 2 already, so now with the brace, but she just hangs around that 18 and makes a smart soccer plays. And Castaneda had no hope on that one. It was just a solid strike.
So that brings it now to 4-0. And once again, to remind anybody watching of the rules as we get closer to how things might be playing out here, once we reach 5 goals, a 5-goal deficit rather, we go to a running clock. And again, as far as the running clock is concerned, it doesn't really do too much to differentiate things as far as the pace of play when it comes to a soccer match. However, the ref will be less inclined to stop the clock in situations where it would warrant it under the running clock rule. Floater sent in, and Castaneda able to corral that one.
And you don't want to amount too much pressure to the Hot Dogs, but they're kind of in the same boat that North Montgomery was in the first game. Now you're just trying to keep it from a running clock at 5-0.
Certainly worth mentioning, though, North Montgomery was down 8-0 at the half of that match. Only a 4-0 deficit here for the Hot Dogs. Sent up. Guardado trying to chase it down, but coming out of the penalty area there is the goalkeeper, Ava Walls.
But once again, sending that ball forward, it was one-on-one, and just the speed of Walls was able to get there first, but not a bad opportunity for Frankfort.
Here is Danville with a little bit of help. Ane going for the hat trick. Can't quite get that one to go that time as Castaneda gets in front of it.
And that was off their left boot. That was the weak foot. My goodness.
You certainly love to have an ambidextrous striker if you are a head coach of a high school, college, or even a pro side.
And only a sophomore to boot.
And so that ball will go out of play here as we tick into the final minute here of this contest in the opening half. Final 30 seconds here. Michael sends it up here for the Hot Dogs, trying to find Vasquez. Vasquez trying to get around the defender here. One-on-one. Vasquez comes away with the possession, but has to wait for some help.
Where is the help?
Vasquez still being harassed in the back by Wilson. and Wilson eventually wins out in that one. But you're right there, John. Not a lot of help coming up as time expires in the opening half here of this one. Danville will take a 4-0 lead into the locker room. Let us be the first to welcome you to the Fiberhood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speeds, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at mintel.net. That's MINTEL.net, or call 765-296-2885 for more information. We'll go ahead and send it to halftime. When we come back, myself and John Kupa will recap what we saw in that first half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Hot Dog Soccer here on the ISC Sports Network.
Frankfort Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
The offensive source in this quarter. Brady, hello, has the first down. Smith tracks it down, shot at the buzzer. Sideline, he cuts it back. Can he get to the goal line? Stankham looks for his man and fell from the seat of his pants, makes the grab. Johnson gets by that first wave, bounces it outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawrence Central.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Hi there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we do Query and Schultz on ISC Sports Network. And Derek, unlike Ted Lasso, we have a third season.
That's right. Season number 3 right now, ISCSportsNetwork.com. You can see episodes on Comcast 81 as well, Mondays at 7:30. I'm talking about our show, Jake, this beloved show that people tune into every single week. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, so many ways to watch Query and Schultz every Monday, 7:30. Tune in and hang out with us.
And you don't have to be a goldfish. You'll remember everything we say.
Frankfort Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfort, Indiana.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable! Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable!
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Frankfort Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfort, Indiana.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Tonight's match once again is brought to you by Frankfort Eagles 976. They are people helping people. Also by Day and Genda Funeral Home, proud supporters of high school athletics in Clinton and Carroll County. Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice, and by Fiberhawk. Fast, affordable Fiberhawk. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the sad news to report that we have gone final here at Frankfort High School. Due to lightning in the area, it is a 4-0 victory here for Danville over Frankfort to close out conference play here in the Sagamore Conference. So, John, needless to say, quick match here for these two squads coming in here. Only 40 minutes of play, but better to err on the side of caution with lightning in the area.
100%. You know, you never want to risk anything. Lots of metal poles around here, the bleachers, everything like that. You don't want to put these players, fans, anybody at risk. But I think what we'll see is that Frankfort's going to need to go to the storyboard and see what they can do against this Danville team, because this was a mirror match. We saw what they can do in the first half. Offense, offense, offense. Get that ball into those first four strikers up front. Let them do their work. But, hey, we saw kind of a blossoming gem, Castaneda, in a start. And that's great news for Coach Field to look forward to. And go ahead. We just got the news.
And with that, we are going to call her the Frankfort Eagles Clinton County Player of the Match. Clarissa Castaneda still giving up 4 goals, but she also had a lot of saves to go along with that as well.
Some of those goals were off a deflection and just where the ball shouldn't have been, but she made some outstanding saves, was collected in that goal. So the 4-0 lead is not really indicative of how she played in the cage tonight.
Of course, you had a Sagamore Conference matchup here tonight on the pitch. We will have 2 more Sagamore Conference matchups coming up on the gridiron for ISC Friday Night Football. Coming up this week, you will have Danville facing Frankfort. That'll be right here on the Hot Dog Network. You'll also have Tri-West taking on North Montgomery. My colleague to my right, John Koopa, will be on the call of that one. Another couple exciting games to look forward to here this Friday night.
Friday Night Lights, one of the finest things in all of sports. You can do your college, you can do your NFL, but nothing beats a Friday night for high school football.
Indeed, of course, it's certainly beating a Wednesday night for soccer as Danville knocks off Frankfort here this evening 4-0. John, a pleasure working with you again tonight, my friend.
As always, Kurt, thank you.
Final score once again, 4-0. You have been watching Frankfort Hot Dog Soccer here on the ISC Sports Network and the Hot Dog Network. I'm Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063